I can't dance. Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's monetmadame. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 pieces of advice that I would have wanted to hear, or that I feel like I needed to hear when I was 16 years old. When I was 16 years old, I wasn't really rebellious, but I didn't have my priorities right. I needed some guidance. So without further ado, here are 10 things that I feel 16-year-old me really needed to hear. The first thing that I would have told 16-year-old me is to take advantage of all of the college credits that you can. When I was in high school, we had the IB program, which is the International Baccalaureate program, and AP classes available for us to take and possibly get college credit for. I did not take advantage of all of those. I did take advantage of some, and I was able to get college credit for one of my English courses because I got a 3 on the AP language exam. But when I took AP literature, I didn't get a score high enough to exempt anything. You have to get a 3 or above, and the test is on a scale from 1 to 5. Had I gotten a 4, I know for a fact I would have gotten credit for English 1102. I only got credit for English 1101 because I got a 3. In the short run, it doesn't seem like that's very beneficial, but in the long run, getting credit for 2 college courses rather than 1 is crazy. Like, it can be game changing because my major was not English. It was not anything related to writing. My major was biology, which you write research papers, but my major was biology. I didn't care about English. Take more advantage of those college courses in order to get college credit. Take it for granted now, but that college credit sounds sweet. If you can really apply yourself and it's a class that you're willing to put in the time and make that little bit of sacrifice, then do it because it will be worth it. If you're planning on going to college, take those AP classes. They will help you. Take them seriously. The second thing that I would tell 16-year-old me is to get those bad habits under control. Number 1 bad habit being procrastination. I was a terrible procrastinator in high school. I was really good at day-to-day tasks. I was really good at taking notes in class, going home, studying those notes, going over my notes, highlighting important parts. When it came to projects and assignments that were to be done over a long period of time, such as 2 or 3 weeks, I procrastinated. If it was a 3-week project, 2 weeks, even longer, shorter, it didn't matter. If there was a time frame on it and I could wait to do it until the night before, I would. I pulled all-nighters in high school. Why would you pull an all-nighter in high school? There's no reason to pull an all-nighter in high school. I'm pulling all-nighters writing papers. And they were B papers. They weren't even A papers. They were solid B papers. Procrastination definitely spilled over into college. And had I nipped that procrastination bug in the bud, nip that in the butt, if I had nipped that procrastination bug in the bud, I would have been more successful in college. And I would have been able to find the discipline that I needed to get things done. I had a lot on my plate in college. I wasn't very productive with my time. My balance was just not there. I had to work in college. I was in extracurricular activities and I just didn't have it together enough for me to be doing all of that stuff and procrastinating. So stop procrastinating. The third thing that I would tell 16-year-old me is that life is not a fairy tale. I spent a lot of time alone as a teenager because we lived in an area of town where people didn't really want to drive to come and pick me up, and I didn't have a car of my own. All things considered, I spent a lot of time alone as a teenager, and I resorted to a lot of movies and TV to tell me what life, relationships, friendships, and things like that were supposed to be like. Yeah, I knew what friendships were like. I missed a lot of social interaction and a lot of friendship building because I spent so much time alone. I let fairy tales, romantic comedies, and things like that kind of dictate what I thought relationships and friendships were supposed to be like. Most of the time when you associate life is not a movie or a fairy tale, you think about romantic, but there's also the aspect of, like, you know, working hard and achieving your dreams and things like that. And I think movies and a lot of entertainment and media has the tendency to portray the fact that if you have talent and luck, then you're going to reach your dreams. And it takes a lot more than talent and luck. And You gotta be really talented and really lucky for those two things to carry you to your dreams. I mean, really, it just doesn't work like that. Life is not a fairy tale. The fourth thing that I would have told myself at 16 is to put your phone down. Put your phone down. When I was 16, that's when I pretty much got my first phone. I'd had a phone from the time I was in 8th grade, but it was one of those Nokia phones with, you know, with like Snake on it and stuff, and you had to push the button like 4 times to get to the letter that you wanted to use in a text message. So my first phone was when I was 16, and it was a Samsung Rant. I had a lot of text messages on there in the first few months. When I was taking my AP US history class, I had the highest grade the entire first semester up until Christmas when I got my cell phone. Like, I was getting the highest grade on all of the tests, and I'm in there just like breezing through these tests, getting an A, busting the curve every time. And when I got my cell phone in, you know, at Christmas time, that was all over. I had a book report that I was supposed to do over Christmas break. I was supposed to read the book. I came back from Christmas break, none of that was done, but I had a lot of text messages in my cell phone. So I would definitely tell myself to put my phone down, because it was a huge distraction and I didn't have the self-discipline to leave it alone when I needed to get stuff done. The fifth thing that I would tell myself at 16 is to not be so concerned with what others think, and don't chase popularity. Popularity doesn't pay your bills. It's not going to get you into college. It's not going to solidify any type of relationship with anybody. If you're popular, cool, kudos to you. I hope that you recognize that popularity is not the most important thing in life, and that after high school, just because you were popular in high school doesn't mean that that popularity is going to transfer over to being successful in life. Being popular is not nearly as important as having the characteristics that it takes to be a good person, having a good work ethic. Popularity is literally the last thing that is going to get you success in life. Let me say that one more time. Popularity is not going to get you success, not by itself. You can be popular, but just because you're popular doesn't mean that people support you. People can like you, people can want to know what's going on, but that doesn't mean they support you. That doesn't mean that they're investing in what you have to offer. They don't care. They just want to know. That's what popularity is. Just be yourself. Chasing popularity can also kind of rob you of some of your adolescence and some of your childhood, because if you're, take it from someone who, I guess, chased popularity, worrying about what other people are doing and trying to do what the popular kids are doing, or, you know, just worrying about what other people are doing, period, is going to hold you back. You're not going to be growing as a person because you're, you know, focusing on things that aren't meant for you. So don't chase popularity, chase yourself, be yourself. The sixth thing that I would tell 16-year-old me is to be more kind. Have more compassion for people who are different than you. And that kind of ties into the popularity thing too, because being that I was trying to be popular, I was treating people who I didn't think were popular less than, and that was not okay at all. And it's experiences like that that stick with me and made me want to be a better person, because no one deserves to be treated less than simply because they don't like what you like or don't like what you think that they should like. So be more kind to people who are not like you. Show compassion. Just be more kind. And I believe in karma. I believe that life, you know, comes around full circle, and you will come to regret and wish that you hadn't treated people that way. As they say, the people, the kids that you bully and make fun of are gonna end up being your boss. Okay? The seventh piece of advice that I would give to myself at 16 is to leave the boys alone. Leave the boys alone. They suck. They do, I promise. And I know I sound like an old, you know, gripey adult, but when you're older, you don't want to look back and think, oh, I remember this guy and this guy and that guy, and I remember I was at this party and did it. You don't want all of your childhood memories to involve a guy. You want to have memories with your families, with your friends, with people who had your back, with people who you've had their back. And if all you're worried about is boys, you're gonna have a bunch of memories with people who probably aren't in your life anymore. So be careful how you choose your time. Don't chase after boys. They should be chasing you anyways. So if a guy wants your time, he has to work for it. I don't care how old he is. Well, it matters how old he is because you're only 16, but he should have to work for your time, okay? Spend time with your friends, spend time with your family, make those memories that matter. Be there for the people who have been there for you. 8th thing that I would tell 16-year-old me, get over the fact that it's all on you. It's all on you and you have to deal with it, okay? I was left to my own devices a lot, and instead of figuring it out, I turned inward and I shut down. I did. I simply shut down. You need to get over the things that life is throwing at you. I know there are a lot of things that are that seem unbearable, but I promise you, it is not the end of the world. I know it seems like it. You can make it through. You are on your own in this world, and it's okay because you came into this world alone. Figure it out. I didn't have parents that were super involved in my day-to-day activities, like, oh, let me fix your lunch. Oh, let me make sure you have this. Let me make sure you have that. I didn't have that. I had to look out for myself for the most part. Not 100% of the time, but for the most part, I was left to my own devices. And I resented my parents for it, and I sulked in it. I didn't get over it. I resented it and was stubborn and wanted them to do something about it. And I should have realized that they weren't going to change. I was the one who needed to do something about my situation. So it's harsh, but you need to hear it. Figure it out. Get over it. You will. If it looks like I keep moving, it's because I am. My recording struggles, y'all. The 9th thing that I would tell myself 10 years ago at 16 is don't shut down. Confide in somebody. Let somebody know what's going on. Don't turn inward when things aren't going your way or when you feel stuck. Talk to somebody. Don't shut down, because shutting down and turning inward, things like that, if it's not healthy, if it's not in a healthy way, it can lead to, suicidal thoughts and things like that. And in high school, that shouldn't be something that should never be something that someone's worried about, but definitely not in high school. If you feel like you might be depressed, or you feel like you have no one to turn to, if you feel like it's literally the end of the world, there's no purpose of living, there's no hope, do not turn inward. Do not take it upon yourself to feel like no one is there for you. You are not alone, okay? And that's what I was getting at in number 9. I don't want those tips that I gave in number 9 and number 8 to feel like a contradiction, because that's not what I was intending. I just wanted to convey the fact that you need to become independent, but you also need to realize that it's okay to ask for help when you feel like you really need it. Talk to somebody. And the last thing, number 10, that I would tell myself at 16 is to listen. I was very hard-headed, and being hard-headed is not fun. It's not. You have to literally learn things the hard way. It slows you down. If you just listen to the advice that's given to you, you can get around some of those problems. You don't even have to deal with that. It's not a problem. But when you hard-headed and you don't listen, you just make things harder on yourself. You make it harder on yourself. So listen. Don't be hard-headed. You don't know everything. Don't be so stubborn. I thought I knew it all. So I would definitely tell myself to listen. So my camera is about to die. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. What you dealt with, how you dealt with it, how you think it affected you today. And if you would like for me to expand on anything that I talked about, if you want me to go into a little bit more detail about it, let me know as well. And maybe I can film a video about that. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a wonderful life. Be beautiful.